Tottenham Hotspur 3, Arsenal nil, and boys, Arsenal capitulated. Well and truly capitulated. I mean, going into the game, it was always going to be a tough game. A North London derby, the biggest North London derby definitely in my lifetime. Going to a hostile Tottenham Hotspur stadium. And we couldn't hack it. We just could not hack it. We actually started the game decently. First 22 minutes, we were on top. We looked decent. And just gave away a silly penalty from Cedric. I mean, it was a soft penalty in my eyes. I see fullbacks do that all the time. The ref decided to give it. I mean, look, it's soft in that sense. But in many ways, you can say it is a penalty by the law. Harry Kane, of course, he's going to dispatch that. No doubts whatsoever. And since Tottenham went 1-0 up, from then on, it was a game over, really, because that was Tottenham's game plan, to get the first goal and then sit back and park the bus defend, as they do really well. They're a really good team at sitting back and counter-attacking. I think, honestly, if we kept this game tight for the first 60, 70 and Tottenham had to throw bodies at it, it would have been a different picture, because I don't think Tottenham are a good team when they have to break teams down. I think they struggle at that, in fact. Like, they struggle against playing teams like Brentford and Brighton, who play 5 at the back, and you have to break them down. But when a team's trying to attack them and they just have to sit back and counter, they're one of the best teams in the world to do it. They showcased it against Liverpool on the weekend. And yeah, as soon as we went 1-0 down, it was always going to be a long game for Arsenal Football Club. And it didn't help by the stupidity of Robert Holding, to be honest. I mean, all game, Son had him on ropes, man. This is one of the best players in world football, Heung-Min Son. And he was just spinning Holding literally every single time Sonaldo got the ball. Holding was just getting spun. And he just couldn't hack it. He got his first yellow for pulling him back. No need to do that whatsoever. And then the second one, I mean, he's just bumping him. It's another one like Cedric, where players do it all the time. And there's no consistency with the officials in giving a foul or not giving a foul. And in that sense, he gave us two, I guess, foul decisions, which led to the penalty and led to the red card. And on another day, neither of those would be given. But by the letter of the law, it is a foul at the end of the day. It's just whether the case the referee wants to give it. And in this case, he wanted to. And it is what it is, man. That was it. When it was 1-0 down and 10 men, it was looking like a long day for this football club. I honestly did think it was damage limitation at that point. And then Spurs made it 2, conceded from a corner. We went the whole season without conceding from corners, and we conceded in back-to-back games from corners now, against Leeds on the weekend and Tottenham today. And that was 2. And then going into half-time, 2-0 down, I was not confident whatsoever of making a comeback, I'm going to be honest, because the game was far from us. Spurs were looking comfortable. They were literally just possession football for them, knocking it about, and we just looked shot of confidence. The thing is, we had chances even with 10 men. Ødegaard running onto a couple of them, needs to do better with his finishing. Even in the second half, Ødegaard had one, and Saka had one at the start of the second half. But it all didn't matter, because Sonaldo's literally scored to make it 3-0 as soon as the second half started. Comical defending from Arsenal at the back. Gabriel literally lays it off to Son to make it 3-0. And yeah, and it made matters worse when Gabriel actually got taken off for a hamstring injury. So Rob Holding's going to be suspended for the game against Newcastle, and Gabriel looks like a hamstring injury, which will rule him out till the end of the season, our best centre-back. So it's just looking like it couldn't get any worse for Arsenal Football Club, but it did. And look, we're still above Tottenham on points, if that's the only benefit. But top 4 looks long stretch for me. For me, I think it's Spurs now to lose, because away at Newcastle, especially without Gabriel now, I can't see us winning. I'm going to be completely honest, I can't see us winning. In fact, to be honest, I think we can lose these last 3 games, like including the game here today. I honestly think it could be a repeat of what happened at the start of the season, where we lost our first 3 and then won the next 4. I think the same thing could happen here, where we've won our last 4 and now we lose our last 3, basically. Because this was just a damaging defeat, man. Mentally, you could see it on Arteta's face. Like, even at the end of the game, he just didn't even say anything to the other manager, Conte. He just literally just looked frowned and just walked down the tunnel, man. He'd had enough. I'd had enough, to be honest. All the Arsenal fans had enough. They left halfway through. And it's just, the game had so much potential, man. Watching the first 20 minutes, people are going to say Arsenal were on top first 20 minutes. And yeah, we were, but I think that fed into Spurs' game plan. This game went exactly how Antonio Conte would have wanted it to go. You give Arsenal the possession to start the game. You sit back, assert a little bit of dominance, feel them out, see what they're going to do, and then you just score in a counter-attack. And as long as Spurs got the first goal, as they did, I couldn't see Arsenal making a comeback in this football game. And that's exactly what happened. Spurs scored the first goal and Arsenal literally folded like a house of cards. But yeah, where does this leave Spurs? They go to play Burnley. They play first before Arsenal, which I guess is a benefit for them. You do want to play first. I'd say definitely when between the two teams, you'd want to play first. And look, Burnley, it's not going to be a tough game. I mean, it's not going to be an easy game. Burnley are fighting for their lives, but the fact that it is at home for Spurs, they should get the job done. If it was at Turf Moor, tough game. But at home, I think Spurs are going to walk them over, to be honest. Arsenal away at Newcastle. Monday night football under the lights. I can't see Arsenal winning that game. I really honestly can't. And then you go to the last game of the season. Arsenal at home to Everton. Tough game because Everton literally going to be fighting for their lives. You saw Everton literally pull out a win against Leicester. Beat Chelsea. Beat Manchester United recently. Gave Liverpool a really tough game for a good 60-70 minutes. So that's not going to be easy towards the end of the season. Everton got a good side. And obviously Tottenham are going to play Norwich, who've literally lied down and died for the past few weeks since they got relegated. So yeah, overall this game though, man, what can you say as an Arsenal fan? What can you say? I mean, we've got a young, inexperienced team. I didn't like the way we capitulated. Once it was down to 10 men, 2-0, there wasn't much we could do. Our heads were gone. We lost everything. We lost our edge. We had no attacking play whatsoever. I guess I could say, like, the team, did they really fight? I mean, a lot of unnecessary yellow cards towards the end of the game, and it was only 3-0, but I'm not celebrating, like, only 3-0 against Tottenham, man. For me, a loss is a loss, whether it was 6-0, 7-0, 3-0, or 1-0. You've lost the game, and that's what matters. And, yeah, it's a damaging defeat mentally because this has really shot our confidence among the squad. I'm just hoping they regroup in time. I think the only boost we'd get is if Spurs drop points against Burnley. I honestly think if Spurs beat Burnley, as I expect them to do so, they've got top 4. I think if Spurs drop points against Burnley, that'll give us a mental boost going against Newcastle. Because I really can't see us beating that Newcastle side, man. But the thing is, because Spurs got that point at Liverpool now, that's so big for them. Because now they're only 1 point behind us. Which means even if they draw against Burnley and we lose, they're still ahead of us on goal difference because their goal difference is miles better than us. Miles better. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's in our hands. That's the only benefit I can say as an Arsenal fan and supporting Arsenal. It is in our hands. Like, if we do the business against Newcastle and Everton, we do have top 4. There's no two ways about it. Disregarding this loss completely, we still can get top 4 winning our last 2 games. No matter if Spurs win their last 2 games 9-0 each. So that's the only benefit. But are you confident in this Arsenal side beating Newcastle and Everton? Let me know in the comment section down below, because I am really not confident in that whatsoever. And it's sad to see because we want to run before this game. Leeds, West Ham, United, Chelsea, all those big results. Is it literally going to come down to nothing? And it'll be really sad to do so because if Arsenal don't get top 4 here, you can say in many ways we bottled it. Even though I wasn't celebrating after we beat Leeds, I honestly wasn't. Because I know it's a topsy-turvy season, man. Swings in roundabouts. Now I'd say it's in Spurs' hands. I'm not watching the Sky Sports pundits, but if I do watch it, I guarantee them lot would say the same thing. It is in Spurs' hands right now because they've got the easier run of games. They've got the momentum. Momentum is so massive in football. And Arsenal, tough away game at Newcastle. You know what happened last time in a Monday night football game. Got absolutely thrashed by Crystal Palace. But yeah, it is what it is. We move on to that game. Of course, I'll be covering it here on White Football. Let's get into the player ratings now. In goal, Aaron Ramsdale. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Look, the goals couldn't really do much. A penalty, he dived the way he should have because when it showed the chart before, Kane loves to go to the goalkeeper's right. He went to the goalkeeper's right, but Kane went the other way around to the left. It is what it is, man. The goals, I don't think he could have done much, really, to be honest. A couple of suspect kicking moments. But at the end of the day, the game was gone. He made a good save in the second half against Emerson Royale. But he was over by that point. Right back, Cedric, stinker, giving away a penalty. I'll give him a 2 out of 10. It just shows, man, because the 2 players that lost this result for us is Rob Holding and Cedric. And ironically, they're the 2 players in that squad that don't start games for Arsenal in a full-strength team. Let's be 100% honest. In a full-strength team, El Neni, Holding and Cedric are the 3 players that don't start for Arsenal in that team. And 2 of those 3 cost us this game. It shows you all you need to know about Arsenal, that when we're at full strength and we've got the Tierney's, we've got the Parteys, we've got the Ben Whites in the squad, we can compete. We lose 1 or 2 players, 1 or 2 of our key players, and the drop-off is massive. Because they can last in a couple games, Cedric and Holding. They can do us good for 2-3 games. But consistently over a 38-game period, relying on them lot, week in, week out, it's a recipe for disaster. And it all came to fruition here because we got absolutely walloped. Centre-backs, Rob Holding starting 1 out of 10. And even that's nice for me, giving him a 1 out of 10. He lost his head from minute 1. He lost his head. Literally. Had no composure whatsoever, man. I knew he was getting a red. As soon as I saw him kick out on Son, in the first foul he did, I was like, he's lost his head, Holding. He's completely lost his head. And he went and got a red card, man. Within the first half, first 33 minutes. Literally, like, just over a third of the game being played, and you've literally cost us. In North London derby, man. Absolute stinker from Holding there. And he's an experienced player as well. I'm not going to treat him like a young guy, because he's been in the club for a long time, Holding. Since 2016 or 17, I want to believe. So he's been here a good 5-6 years, man. So I'm not going to treat him like a young kid. He needs to do better than that. He's an experienced professional, and that was just poor from him. Gabriel, look, I'll give him a 3 out of 10. It is what it is. He wasn't as bad as Holding, obviously. I mean, anything he did was better than Holding. But he got taken off injured as well, which is a really sad sight to see because I know he's our best centre-back. And I'm just hoping and praying that it was just a precaution and he hasn't actually pulled his hamstring. Because if he has actually pulled his hamstring, he's locked off for the end of the season. And we're going into that last game with Tomiyasu and Ben White at centre-back. So who's looking forward to that? Because I'm definitely not. Left back, Tomiyasu, look. Tomiyasu definitely was one of our better performers. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. He made a key block on Kane, which of course now makes no difference whatsoever. But at the time, it was a big block. Let's move into centre mids. El Neni, didn't really realise he was playing, to be honest with you. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. He didn't really assert himself. CDM-wise, don't think he did much anchoring, to be fair, to block the back four. But it is what it is at the end of the day. I can't really pin the loss down to him because honestly, like, taking those 2 mistakes aside, this might have been a different football match. We just got a red card and conceded the penalty, and then from then the game went away from us. It was an uphill battle since then. Xhaka next to him. Look, Xhaka tried his best, bro. He played a lot of positions. He played centre mid, left back, ended the game at centre back. He did all he could, man. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. Lost his head at the end and got a yellow card stupidly. But that's just Xhaka all around, man. He's a passionate guy and he's an aggressive guy. And at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. You could tell the Arsenal players didn't want to lose this game, but there's ways of like showing your aggression, do it in a positive manner, not just racking up yellow cards. Let's go on to the attackers. Saka, for the first 22 minutes, he was on job, man. But as soon as we went down to 10 men, he was basically anonymous. He had a couple of times we played nice passes and had a chance at the start of the second half, but didn't really do much. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Ødegaard, I'll give a 4 to. Actually, I'll give him a 3, Ødegaard, because he had a couple of chances that he scuffed. Ødegaard away from the Emirates is suspect, man. He's so suspect. At home, he's unbelievable. Picking up the ball, fancy tricks, flicks, flair player. As soon as he's going away from home, he struggles to play football properly, man. It's like he loses that competitive, that dog spirit. For me, he's not a captain. He's not captain of Arsenal Football Club. For me, you give that to Ramsdale. I'm being 100% honest. I'd give it to him. I'd give it to Tierney, but Tierney's always injured. So for me, give it to Ramsdale. Because Ødegaard is not captain. He's not vocal enough. As soon as he went down to 10 men, I did not hear him or see his body language, him speaking whatsoever. Every time he got the ball, he was timid in this game, giving it away or passing it away quickly. No kind of ball carrying ability, just a poor game all around from Martin Ødegaard. Martinelli, look, he got hooked. I think he was actually semi-injured. Martinelli is one of our better players. Look, he got on the ball and he actually tried to make stuff happen. He was dribbling with it. He looked dangerous. Our attacks were coming from the left-hand side. But yeah, like, at the end of the day, there's not much he could do either. I'll give him a 5 out of 10, Martinelli. And then Nketiah was basically anonymous this game. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. But overall, damaging defeat for Arsenal. We lose 3-0. It's like, I always knew it'd be a tough game going away to White Hart Lane. And that's why I didn't say top 4 was wrapped up. But you could just tell, the thing that annoys me, man, is the drop-off in this Arsenal team. Because make no mistake about it, if this was the Invincibles side, 10 men, 9 men, 8 men, they're not losing this game 3-0, man. They're putting up a fight. There's not really any of this fight in this Arsenal team, man. Even down to 10 men, we never looked like coming back. Like, we conceded instantly 4 minutes after getting 10 men. Like, keep it a tight game, boys, man. Get into half-time, regroup and go again. We literally fold like a house of cards, and that was a sad thing for me to see. Because the potential was here, man. It didn't need any more hyping up this game. We win this game in a hostile Spurs atmosphere, crush their dreams in their place, and we've secured top 4 in their backyard. But it just went completely the opposite of how us Arsenal fans wanted it to go. And look, at the end of the day, it is still in our hands. And I guess this makes it a more interesting race now because we're 1 point ahead, but Spurs got all the momentum. So whose position would you rather be in? Honestly, it's a tough question. Would you rather be in Arsenal's position? Just got slapped 3-0, but we are 1 point ahead with tougher fixtures. So it is in Arsenal's hands still. Or would you rather be in Spurs' position, where they just won 3-0, spirits are high, they've got 2 easy games, let's be real, against bottom of the league teams, but you're still chasing Arsenal, you're still hoping Arsenal drop points. It's a tough game. Leave your thoughts on that in the comment section down below and your thoughts of the game in general. As an Arsenal fan, Spurs fan, or a general football fan, I love to hear it. And if you're new around here, if you enjoy football reactions, why football's a place to be, so cheer me up and give me a sub on my road to 700 because I'm a bit distraught after this game. But yeah, I've been White Hart and I'll catch you guys in the next video.